Okay, let's go to BMW next. German, of course. Automobiles, the 3 Series, 5 Series, 7 Series, X Series and I Series. We can go into the details if you want. It also, of course, is in motorcycles and financial services, and it owns Mini and Rolls-Royce as well. Good point. Production and assembly all over the place. $59.2 billion, roughly the same value in euros these days, because, of course, the dollar-euro rate is pretty close. Price-to-earnings ratio only 7.75. Dividend yield 3.83%. Might as well go straight to the share chart, because in one glance that shows you what the last 5 years looks like in terms of the sort of coming-ins and goings. What's going on here, would you say?
Yeah, like you said, it's sometimes a difficult industry to invest in. So if you actually, I mean, that's the share price performance, and again, this trades at a very reasonable PE. Again, you look at it compared to the others. I mean, the earnings haven't been particularly impacted by anything. They're sort of getting on, doing what they do. And I mean, the earnings growth over the last 5 years has sort of been between 5 and 9%. So it's upper single digits. Yep. I mean, the share price can do what it wants, but the earnings have been very, very stable. I mean,
because what's going on at the luxury end of the motor vehicle environment? Because we know Tesla's there, but it's tiny. BMW and Mercedes-Benz, Daimler would be, you know, the leaders in that space.
Yeah.
I suppose, though, most of the other global brands have started developing their sort of preferred luxury competitor. So, for example, Toyota would have Lexus, and that's part of the problem, is that the luxury high net worth individual shopper for a car has a lot of choices.
Yeah, it's spoiled for choice. And I mean, that's, I think, why the sector, you know, a sector in general, it does trade on fairly low PEs. You know, other than the VWs and the Teslas, because they've obviously got their own stories to tell. But looking at it, I mean, it is an incredibly competitive market, and it's worth mentioning that. So, and that's kind of what keeps a lid on the profits. It's very difficult if you do sort of a Porter's Five Forces model for new entrants to come in. And Tesla's making, I mean, that's one of the real miracles of Tesla, is that you have this new entrant into the market. But again, once you're in there, like the sort of the big auto manufacturers, it's an incredibly competitive business, very technologically driven, huge capex to set up these businesses.
What about their electric vehicles? Because the i8, i3 doesn't seem to have made a major mental impact in terms of the talking point. I mean, the i3 is not an attractive car, in my opinion.
You don't like it?
It looks like a
toy.
Loaf of bread with 4 Mari biscuits stuck on the side.
Yeah, so looking at it again, so you look at BMW, I think a lot of the electric take-up, the problem with the electric take-up has been the accessibility of charging points and the time that it takes to charge. So you plug in your charger, even with the I suppose the level 3 chargers that they're rolling out now, still you're going to go there and it's going to take you 25 minutes to charge your car. It's not exactly like filling up with petrol. I mean, I think that the whole system is not quite there yet, but there's huge spending to get it to the level.
Get better, etc. Okay, look, I want to save more time for Tesla, so let's stop talking about BMW. Would you say it's hot at current levels?
I think it's probably the quality one in the sector. Again, very, very cheap. I think there's a significant margin of safety in these stocks. The market's not expecting a lot from them. So I mean, we've got sort of a 10% earnings growth over the next 2 years. You're probably going to get similar in share price performance. I don't think it's one that's going to shoot the lights out, but very, very well run and very, very solid. So, yeah, again, hot. I'll go hot. Yeah.
Okay, let's give it the thumbs up.
We don't hold it in portfolios though, but well run enough to get a hot.
Yeah, and cheap. Right.